verse 31, Ulladhu Naarpadhu, 40 verses on reality given to us by Sri Ramana Maharshi. தன்னை அளித்தெழுந்த தன்மையானந்தருக்கு இன்னை உளதென்று ஏற்றுதற்கு தன்னையலாத அந்நியம் ஒன்றும் அறியார் அவர் நிலைமை இன்னதென்று உன்னல் எவன். தன்னை அளித்தெழுந்த தன்மையானந்தருக்கு இன்னை உளதென்று ஏற்றுதற்கு, to the jnani, to the enlightened person who has destroyed his ego through vicharam, what is there for him to perform? தன்னை அளித்தெழுந்த தன்மையானந்தருக்கு இன்னை உளதென்று ஏற்றுதற்கு தன்னையலாத அந்நியம் ஒன்றும் அறியார் அவர் நிலைமை இன்னதென்று உன்னல் எவன். After enlightenment, in his experience, there is no such thing as foreign to him. There is no such thing as separate from him. In his experience, everything has become one. What can we say about his state? What can we say about his state? See, in the last few verses, especially 23, 27, 28, 29 and 30, we saw the mechanism of seeking the source of ego, our psychological sense of I, our ahankara, our bodily sense of I. And we saw that when we seek the source, the ego topples down and Atma shines forth automatically without our effort. Because Atma is permanent, it doesn't change, it shines forth, it reveals everything and it keeps quiet. Now, through vicharam inquiry, what happens is that the psychological sense of I, the bodily sense of I or ahankara gets destroyed over a period of time. This individuality, it just goes on melting until it becomes non-existent, so to say. Ego will be there even after enlightenment. It will be there in the form of the moon in daytime. What can the moon in daytime do? When the sun is shining forth, what is the use of the moon being there? The mind will be like that. It will be there, but it will have lost all vigor. It is just there like a burnt rope. A burnt rope looks like a rope, but it is no longer functional. The same way for a jnani, an enlightened person, for a jivan mukta, the ego is so subdued that it is as good as non-existent. Now, why is it said that after enlightenment, if the ego is destroyed, there is nothing for a jnani to perform? Now connect it with verse 26. Ahandai undayin anaithum undagum. If ego rises, everything is there. Body, world and the universe. And the sense of doership is there when that ego is there. When ego is not there, the sense of doership is gone. One higher power does everything, Sri Bhagavan says. When you get enlightened, you will understand that this ego is handed over to some other higher power, and you will notice that the higher power does everything in a highly coordinated fashion, so to say, in all coherence. So, the same idea is said in Upadesa Undiyar also. Mana urumaya meimannu mayogi tanakkor செயலிலை undipara தன்னியல் சார்ந்தனன் undipara. Mana urumaya, the ego having been destroyed or removed. Tanakkor செயலிலை, the yogi or jnani does not find any work or action to perform. Because when ego is there, when Atma is reduced to the size and capability of the body, we start seeking the bliss that really belongs to Atma. Atma's nature is bliss, existence, consciousness, bliss. But since we have reduced ourselves through identification with the body, since we have reduced ourselves to the size and capability of the body, we depend on the intellect that we have. And the intellect says, hey, seek this, there is pleasure in it. Seek that, there is pleasure in it. Seek this, there is satisfaction in this. Seek that, there is satisfaction in this. It is distorted or convoluted way of trying to reach out to our own original bliss, but it is not possible. Either through sex or drugs or whatever, or any other activity or achievement of power, name, fame. We are only trying in an indirect way to obtain back that bliss which is our original nature. So this is the mechanism. This reduction to the ego level from being Atma to being reduced to the size and capability of the body is called identification with the body. This seems to be the default mechanism set by nature or Ishvara, the Lord, call whatever. So seeking satisfaction, ultimate satisfaction and happiness and bliss, this defines a human being. This marks a human being. He is in constant search of bliss or happiness. That is his original nature. Since the original nature is forgotten, indirectly through the body, through the mind, we start seeking pleasure. And in pursuit of pleasure, we start performing functions. And we think we are the doer. Actually, we are not the doer. Because Anma pervades everything, pervades all human beings. It gives life, so to say, to all upadhis, all add-ons, all adjuncts. Nothing but this body, right? It operates, so to say, through all human beings, and Atma has made itself forgotten through the mechanism of body identification, and the indirect search for our own original bliss is on and on. So for a jnani, for a yogi, once he becomes one with the whole existence, his ego separateness is removed through vicharam. He, in his experience, he is one with the whole existence. There is nothing separate from him at all. Yeah. So long as ego is there, I am separate, you are separate, the wall is separate, the ceiling is separate, God is separate, the moon is separate, the universe is separate. Once separateness is removed, everything is one. And the same idea is also, the same idea occurs, same truth occurs in two places in Devi Kalotharam song also. Maybe when we cover that, we will see that. The important point is, தன்னை அளித்தெழுந்த தன்மையானந்தருக்கு இன்னை உலகென்று ஏற்றுதற்கு. If you become enlightened, if you start experiencing your true nature, bliss, there is no action to be performed for a jnani, for a yogi. Because only if anything is separate from him, the yogi would like to reach out to that. See, so long as things are separate from me, I have the interest that I need to be in touch with that object. Be it, if you are a man, you look at a woman. If you are a woman, you look at a man. You look at cars, objects, gadgets, a dress, whatnot. If separateness prevails, you will be in search of them. You will be after them. If in your experience, if you realize your true nature, what is there for you to reach out to? Because you will say everything is me. You will see, within quotes, the same Atma in everything and in everyone. In one of the songs, Sri Bhagavan says, it is the life that is ticking within you. You will see, you will realize that the same life is ticking in all human beings. To put it simply, the raw material is one. It is one raw material of Atma with which the entire universe is made. That's all. So don't get deluded by the variety, he says. Variety is just an appearance. Simply because you think you are a separate being limited to the capability and size of the body, you see everything as different from you. If you realize your true nature, only oneness prevails. That's all. So usually after enlightenment, if you see jnanis or jivan muktas, those people who are liberated while in the body, they'll have nothing to do. They'll be just sitting there. That is what they will do. They cannot do anything beyond. What is there to be performed? If you want to perform some action, your ego is needed. Ahankara is needed. Psychological sense of I is needed. Bodily sense of I is needed. When that is gone, can you imagine this state? Of course, to start with, we need to reason out, because it is something, as Swami Vivekananda said, this Advaitic truth takes you to a height where you can scarcely breathe. One only exists. That is the conclusion Sri Bhagavan gave at his age 68, 3 years before shedding his body. எப்போதும் உள்ளது அவ்வேகான்ம வஸ்துவே. What always is. The truth that always exists is Anma. That is one. This is what Shankara also said. Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya, Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. Brahma Satyam. Brahman, Atma, is the only truth. And the world is an appearance in the consciousness that we are. Because the universe is impermanent, so he calls it falsity. Falsity only means impermanent. Because no human being ever lives for 1 million years. Because the body belongs to an impermanent order of the universe. Not only the body, the planet itself, stars themselves, everything there is in the creation will get old and it will die one day. But Atma never dies. Atma powers the whole system of the universe and lies as the substratum without doing any action. In its presence, everything gets life and all human beings get to perform their actions. So long as ego is there, we need to perform. We have this thinking that I am the doer. And when the ego is gone, since there is nothing separate from you, since everything is one with you, you will not have the ego to perform action. You will be in absolute peace forever. You will be in absolute stillness of mind forever. So the whole game is designed like this. Ego, the vast infinite Atma, is made to identify itself with the body, and the whole creation starts, the whole performance and action starts. When the ego through Vicharam is made to subdue or submerge in the self, for a jnani there is nothing to be performed. And all that the jnani's body wants will naturally be fulfilled automatically. This is also said in Devi Kalotram. Like how when spring comes, all the trees and plants, they just flourish and they blossom. The same way for a jnani, he'll get all the necessary intellect, all the strength to fulfill all his needs that were entailed by the association with this body. Let us think about it.